Welcome to the program, the Vintage Heritage Show. My name is Jim Briggs. On today's program, we'll be discussing about beads, the meaning of beads, the usage of beads, and why beads is trending in our culture today in Nigeria. I'm not alone on this. I have somebody in the building and we'll be discussing and talking about beads. Her name is Miss Nkechi Wilson, and she is the CEO of Asha Beads. Hello, Miss Nkechi. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Welcome to the Vintage Heritage Show.
Thank you very much.
Today, actually, we'll be talking and looking at beads. In our society, in our country, all over the world, you can see that bead is trending. A lot of people wear beads. But before then, what is bead?
Bead is a costume that could be used or can be used to beautify our daily dressing on any kinds of attire, whether English or traditional attire.
So when you say bead is a costume that can be used
to beautify
either English or traditional
exactly.
attire. And me and you know that bead is so trending in our country today. And when you go to parties, especially traditional marriage, how does bead has a relation to do with traditional events? Because you see a lot of people wear beads, especially in traditional marriages, especially people from Edo, people from the Yorubas, they wear beads. So how does it really bring out the beauty? Does it mean that without these beads, they cannot celebrate their wedding ceremonies?
Not really that they can't celebrate their wedding ceremony or anything, but there is this thing that we call beauty. You see, bead is something that brings out your real person, that brings out your real beauty, that makes you look extraordinary and different from every other personality around. When you talk about the Edos, the Yorubas, you see, these are people that really thrilled me when it comes to the bead, yes, because they so much cherish it so much, more especially the Edos. You see, when they come out, you are really amazed the way they come out, the way they dress. In fact, it makes them look more composed. It makes them look more attractive. It makes them look more confident and fantastic, and fashionable.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You know, with all this, we have different kinds of beads.
Exactly.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back. When we come back, we talk about different kinds of beads. Bead is a small decorative object that is formed in a varieties of shapes and sizes of a material such as coral, plastic, and shell. Nigerian beads can be used to accessorize either your traditional wedding attire if you are a bride, or your ashebi if you are a guest. In the past years, beads have taken over gold and silver as main jewelry worn at special occasions. As many bead makers, both at home and abroad, have become so creative with their craft. And now we have endless amount of beautified design beads, which comes in different styles, shapes, colors, and sizes. In Nigeria, wearing a bead for a traditional wedding is a must for a finished look. Welcome back to the Vintage Heritage Show. Still on the matter, beads in Africa or in Nigeria as well. Don't forget I have somebody with me, Ms. Nkechi, and we're discussing or talking about beads. So we're back here to say what kind of beads? We have different kinds of beads. So can you give us maybe 3 kinds of beads?
Yeah, we have different kinds of beads. But the main beads that we really trade in our society today, they are crystal bead.
Okay, crystal bead.
Yes, and coral bead.
Coral bead.
Yes, and sand bead.
Oh, sand bead.
Yes, these are one of the 3 important beads. Not that we don't have different beads.
Yeah, we have
other beads, but you see these 3 kinds of bead I just mentioned: the crystal bead, the coral bead, and the sand bead. In fact, by the time you bring all these beads together, wow,
they make something beautiful.
It makes something extraordinary, beautiful.
Okay. Beautiful. So let's look at the coral bead.
Okay.
Where is the coral bead coming from?
The coral bead is the one we actually look into when you deal on your traditional attire.
Okay.
Because most times you see the Edos. The beads you see the Edos wear are what we call the coral beads.
Oh,
yes, beads. They are the coral bead. In fact, these are beads that when you see it happening in the life of, as in, you see that, I tell you the truth.
It makes them really look beautiful.
Gorgeously.
Okay. And when you talk about this coral bead, is coral bead the kind of bead that you see the Edos, the Yorubas, when they wear? They have it around their necks and they have it on their head as well. Is it what you call the coral bead?
Exactly. They use it to make different boat bags.
Okay, the coral bead is what you use. The coral beads are the one you use to make the slippers.
Yeah, your hair.
The hand bangles.
Exactly.
The men even wear the coral bead.
They even tie it like wrapper.
Okay. Yes, is it the coral bead you can use to do a walking stick?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So let's go to the sand bead. I love the name, the sand bead. So what is the sand bead like?
Sand bead is another bead that by the time you bring them together, they consist and give you something
different.
Yes. Wow. Out of sand bead, you can make even something just like a coral bead.
Okay, out of the sand.
Yes, by the time you bring them together, you begin to see a resemblance of.
Okay, they have a similarity.
Yes, but just that the sand bead is a little bit tinier,
smaller,
while the coral bead is
bigger.
Okay. Yes.
Now you talked about which other one did you talk?
The crystal bead.
You talked about the crystal bead.
Yeah.
We know that crystal is something very beautiful.
Yeah.
When you talk about crystal, something very, very fragile.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, when you talk about the crystal bead is the one. By the time you finish arranging them, you can even use them on an English attire.
Okay.
Not really only on traditional.
So it goes on casual as well.
Exactly. Why when you talk about the coral bead, you don't use coral bead on a English attire.
Sorry, you don't use coral bead on English attire.
Yeah, it doesn't go. Depending.
Okay.
Depending, but 85% of coral bead is more or less with the traditional. Okay. Why maybe the 15% of the coral bead goes for English attire. Okay. But when you talk about the crystal goes for both traditional and both the English attire.
Okay, you can go with it with traditional.
Exactly.
You can go with it on casual wears as well.
Yeah.
We're still talking about on the bead issue. And don't forget I have somebody with me here and we're discussing and talking about bead in Nigeria, in Africa. You can see that bead is trending. Everybody wants to wear bead. We'll come back and we'll now know, does children wear bead as well? Don't forget, it's still the Vintage Heritage Show with Jim Briggs. We'll be right back. Welcome back on the Vintage Heritage Show. Still on the matter, talking about beads. I still have with me Asha Beads here, and we're talking about beads. You know, beads, when you talk about beads, I see these young, beautiful children, ladies, girls, they wear beads. And I want to ask, do they make beads differently for children?
Exactly, they do. Why I say they do? Because by the time you make something different, something a little bit smaller,
Okay, for them.
for
okay.
them, because you don't just come up to abuse bead.
Okay.
Because sometimes you see some mothers, they just want to wear their children the kind of bead them they as the
I was
adults
about
wear.
asking
Is
that.
actually is not good.
It's not a good one.
Yeah, because you see something like all these beads, they are heavy.
Mhm.
And by the time you wear a little child, by the time a little child walks from here to like 2 minutes,
It's tired.
he's tired, he's crying, mommy, I'm tired, mommy, I want to sleep. You see,
Okay.
these are all the things that have weighed the baby down.
Okay.
And that is why sometimes we don't encourage, if you really want to wear a child a bead, just get something light.
Something lighter.
Something
So if I
lighter.
may get you well, that means children really have their class of beads.
Definitely.
They have their class of beads.
But we shouldn't allow it to be abused.
When you say we shouldn't allow it to be abused, are we thinking in the same line, in the sense that you shouldn't wear children heavy beads?
Exactly.
Okay, that means there are specific beads
Exactly,
for
for
children,
children.
and we should go for lighter beads.
Exactly,
for
for
children.
children.
Because I love to see beads on children. Now let's look at something again. We have our men, they wear traditional beads. What are those traditional beads the men wear when they have chieftaincy titles? What is it called?
It's called the Kora
Okay,
bead.
the Kora bead.
That is why I said the Kora bead, 85% of it goes more on the traditional. And you see, a man cannot just go on crystal or sand bead.
Exactly.
Because a man is not a lady.
Okay.
There are actually some kind of attire a man puts on. You understand? Just like a man putting on a crystal bead on his suit.
It's not
going to be well.
Exactly.
Yes, it's not going to be well. So there are beads men wears, and that the bead men wear just cannot exceed the neck,
the neck
and
the hands. Okay.
Yes.
And
then the
walking
walking stick,
and
yes.
the head.
And the head and the cap.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
Exactly.
Wow. I think finally we'll be looking into the waist beads.
Okay.
Tell me, this waist bead, is it a culture or a tradition? Or is just a lifestyle? People just like to wear it?
I won't say if it's a culture. I won't say if it's a... I would just chip in by saying maybe it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Like personally, I don't like it.
Okay.
If it's a culture, that is to say, I must wear it.
You'll be raised with it.
Yeah, I'll be raised with it.
But if you want to look into it, you discover that most of the people who wear these beads, some of them, their parents they wear them this bead even when they're small, and they grow up to continue. And some as well grow up to take these ideas from friends, and that is where I look at it as a lifestyle. So if I'm asking the bead, what kind of bead do you make? Do you use to make the waist beads?
The sand bead.
Okay, the sand
When
beads.
you talk about the waist bead, you'll be going for the sand bead.
Okay.
Where the sand bead you gather together to make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means the other big beads, you don't use it for the waist bead.
Exactly, you don't. Except the lighter of the Kora beads.
Okay, the lighter.
The lighter. But when you talk about the waist bead, you go more, you'll be talking about more on the sand bead.
Okay, and I noticed something too. Is a Yoruba woman complete or incomplete without after Iro and Buba? What kind of beads does it go for? Because I noticed some go with that Kora and some go with the fashion beads as well. Which kind of beads it's supposed to go with Iro and Buba?
Definitely, we all have eyes, we can see. Definitely the Kora bead.
Okay, the Kora bead.
Yeah.
You recommend the Kora bead as a specialist.
As a specialist.
Okay,
yes.
for Iro and
Buba. As in, there are kind of, just like I said, we have different kinds of beads.
Okay.
We have different kinds of Kora beads. We have different kinds of sand beads. All these beads have their functions and all the kinds of bead under them.
Okay.
You understand? So when you talk about the Iro and Buba, I will specifically, both the sand bead can go.
Yeah. But the suitable one.
The suitable one is the Kora bead.
The complete dress.
Is the Kora bead.
Now let's go to the Igbo land, where we see the Igbo land. The women there, they wear what you call the George and the blouse.
Exactly.
So what kind of beads will you advise them to?
That is still why I told you 85% of the traditional is the Kora bead.
Okay.
When you talk about you are wearing a George, you cannot just if you want to be full complete Igbo woman, what you do is by the time you wear your George and your blouse, what fits in is the Kora bead.
The Kora bead.
Exactly.
But I noticed some people too still go with the sand bead on their Igbo traditional women as well.
Exactly, but the perfect, you Google it, you see it everywhere in the newspaper, in the magazine. You see that majority is the Kora bead.
Exactly. Now, Ms. Nkechi, I think drawing close to the end of this program, can you in a little way just appreciate the word bead?
Wow.
Okay, as an African woman, appreciate the word bead in your own language.
In my own language? As in, you mean I should speak my language?
No. In your own language, how did you see beads?
Wow, I see bead as one of the most important things that, in fact, that add more happiness, joy to humanity. You see, you go to a wedding and you see a woman dancing. In fact, that woman is incomplete without the bead. Yes. What actually is making that woman so excited is because she is complete. Yeah, okay. She's complete.
So if I may get you well, an African woman is incomplete without beads. That's if you're going on a traditional attire. Still on beads, let's go to talk about beads on chieftaincy titles. What kind of beads do you think chieftaincy titles people wear? Like the Igwes. Okay, good. Let's talk about the kind of beads the Igwe of the Igbo lands wear.
You see, that is the reason why I said I so much fall in love with the Kora bead.
Everything seems to be like the Kora bead.
And that is why I'm giving it 85%.
No, actually, you said you gave it 85%. So do you still mean that the Igwes in the Igbo land wear the Kora beads?
Exactly.
And do you still mean that the Obas in the Yoruba land wear the Kora beads?
Exactly.
But I'm pushing it down now. The northern areas, do they wear the Kora beads? They don't wear the Kora beads. Let's now go in there where it affects the northern Zambia. You now discovered that recently, the northerners, their fashions are trending. They love to wear beads. I see most of them go on beads, simple beads, traditional beads, the Kora beads. And did you say the same thing? I see that the northerners love to wear beads. Now, as an Asha beads professional, how many % could you rate northerners in your bead world?
Actually, if you tell me to rate the northerners in our world today, I'll give them 45 over 100 because they are trying.
They are trying.
Exactly.
Okay, they are trying in the sense that in patronizing the bead world.
The bead world, yes.
Okay, that means
you go to the market.
You see them.
Anywhere you go, you see them all around. What are they doing? They are searching for Kora bead.
Really?
They are searching for crystal bead. They are searching for sand bead.
Okay.
In fact, I'll give them 45% because they cannot still forget about going on their costume because they love costume.
Okay, but what if we give them 50?
It's okay. It's okay.
So we're giving the northerners 50%, but we know the Obas, they wear the Kora beads. And you see the Obas too, why is it that their beads are different from every other beads? And when I look at it, is it as heavy as my eye sees it? That is it?
It's not really heavy.
Okay.
It's just the camera.
Okay.
Yes.
Or maybe the distance
view.
Okay.
That is what is actually deceiving us. As if it's heavy, it's not really heavy.
Okay, now this Kora bead again, something just came into my mind. Does Kora bead have white?
Definitely.
Okay, because I noticed we're going down to the Delta states. If you go to Delta State, you discover that most of the people there, the women in particular, they wear this white big beads. Do you call that Kora beads?
Yeah, it's Kora beads.
Okay, but again, if we might ask again to, where did this Kora come out from? Is it in Delta? Is it in the Yoruba? Who are the founders of Kora bead or the Edos?
None of the above.
None of the above?
None of the above. When you're talking about all these, you begin to go. There is this part of Africa where we get this.
Okay.
Actually, it's not coming from any of this. But they saw it and they fell in love and now started and
customized
customize it and start loving it
and started
and
using.
started, yes,
And it became part of our culture.
it became part of our culture.
Okay, and what important is beads when it comes to traditional marriage?
Very, very important.
Okay,
yes.
And how important is it when I see some Igbo young girls? Each time the festive period we go for traditional marriage, for traditional tracks, you see them put on beautiful Igbo costumes, like, you know. Is it a must they should go on it, or what about it if somebody could just come out just the way?
It's not a must, but just like I said, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
It's something we have looked at, we love it, want to feel it, want to touch it, and we want to just appreciate the beauty in it.
Okay. And that is why the bead becomes so trending.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's look at this. How trending do you think bead is faster growing in our industries today?
Oh my God, it's really growing.
It's really growing.
It's really growing.
And you think people wear beads, they are in love wearing beads?
They are in love wearing it. They are happy wearing it.
Wearing it. And what is the bead business like? Is it a good one? Is it profitable?
Yes, it's very, very
How can you rate it? Rate it in your own language. How can you rate it like you can tell people, give somebody an advice about the bead industry? Maybe you're calling on somebody now, come join me. Let's do the bead industry as a craft. Let's do something good about it. How can you rate it?
I can rate it because I can rate it like it is a business making money.
Really?
There is profit in it.
In the bead?
I tell you.
Okay.
There is this joy. You see, when you have this joy inside of you and you are doing it, people come in and see how you do it. They are so interested.
Yeah.
They go out, call their friends, and their friends, before you know what is happening, millions of people are patronizing you. They love in beads.
Okay.
Yes, so I will encourage my fellow people. Beads is a business that one can do, and you will live to love and never regret.
Okay, good. And what do you think you can tell the younger ones out there? Some of them often they love to buy beads. Would you want to tell them one word how important it is to go into learning how to make beads?
It's very, very interesting because I felt it's interesting and is a good one, and that is why even me, I sought for it.
And
I went and I discovered today I'm a professional.
I can see that. I know you're a professional.
Yeah.
Wow, that has really been enjoyable having you on the chat room talking about beads. Bead is all about the beauty of Africa. Bead is the legend word when you talk about fashion. It's bead. And today I had Aisha beads, and we talked so much about beads wearing, the world of beads, the kind of beads. We have the sun beads,
the crystal,
we have the crystal beads,
the coral beads,
and we have the coral beads. And I just hope that as you are glancing through, don't forget that your culture is tags and days, and that is African. We are known for beads. Without beads, your dressing is incomplete. Yeah, so thank you for coming to the Vintage Heritage Show.
You're welcome.
It's really nice to have you.
Thank
and
you.
And we hope to see you again.
Thank you.
Hi, viewers. With this, we have come to the end of this program on Beats on the Vintage Heritage Show. On behalf of the entire production crew, we'll meet again, same time, same station, on Zamani TV with Jim Briggs. Bye-bye.